I was recently working with one of my coaching clients, and they had a concern that they had this situation coming up, a recurring situation that triggers them and gets them out of control of their emotions. And they were worried that they would never be able to make that change, that that situation is just too much for me to ever learn how to manage my emotions in that situation. And the good news is that in those kinds of situations, it's not the time to learn new skills or to make changes in yourself. There's actually two periods of time that are much more appropriate for us as human beings to make these sorts of shifts. And if you're interested in learning for yourself or coaching others to better manage their emotions in situations that seem insurmountable, then you're in the right place, and enjoy today's video. So one of the things that I see come up a lot with people, including myself in the past especially, is that we want to learn how to manage our emotions in the situation when it's going on. But if you use a bit of a boxing metaphor, when you're in the ring with an opponent, and potentially if that opponent is stronger than you have been able to handle in the past, well, you're probably gonna just get by doing the best that you can do. You get in there, you get in the zone, you focus on what you can, you do your best to manage the situation, and that's really all the best that you could expect yourself to do. And so if you tend to have perfectionistic programs, you might beat yourself up when that's going on or afterwards, but well, we all know that that's not the most useful and the most healthy way to cope with those sorts of situations. So if when we're in the middle of it is not the time to best make changes, when are the best times to make changes? And today I'm going to propose to you two time zones that would be more useful for you to make changes in yourself. So the first time zone is going to be in reflection, right? So not when you're, if we stick with this kind of sports metaphor, the boxing metaphor, or really any sports, well, what do we do after the game? Whether we win or whether we don't win, we look back, hopefully, and we review the tapes. So in your mind, pull up a memory of when it occurred, and we're going to review the tapes to see what could we do differently. What triggered me? What behaviors did I do in those situations? What am I paying attention to in those moments? What is my intention in those moments? What emotional states were I accessing? What emotional states would be more useful for me to access? So take some time to review the tapes so that you can learn how you can better perform for next time. And that's a really useful thing to do if you don't take time to reflect upon the situations where you could have performed better or where you didn't perform to your peak. Then I highly recommend taking some time out. That's actually one of the benefits of working with a coach such as myself or my clients, is because, we're taking time out of our day, not when the poo-poo's hitting the fan, but taking time out to consciously reflect and to work on the things that we would like to improve in our life in the safety of the coaching room or the coaching space. So taking time to reflect so that we can learn, so that we can realize different ways of responding, different resources that we could use in those situations. Really useful, and it's a much better time when you're calm and centered in terms of reflecting upon what's going on than when you're in the heat of the storm. So of course, make sure that you've had some time to settle down, to cool yourself out before you start to analyze the tapes. Otherwise, you might just be reiterating the problem state and making it stronger and enhancing it. So cool yourself out, reflect on the tapes, and analyze what you could have done better, keeping in mind that we can't change other people or the situation around us. So what we're really focusing on when we're reviewing the tapes is ourself and our responses to the things that are going on and how we can better manage or better respond in those situations. So not in the moment is not the time to make changes. In reflection is the first situation that I'm talking about here, time zone. The second time zone is in preparation. So we've reflected now, we reviewed the tapes. Now it's time to focus on preparing. So what from reviewing the mental footage, if you don't have actual video footage, for example, I could go back and review these actual tapes here to give myself feedback, see how I could perform. But once we've reviewed our most likely psychological tapes, our memory of that situation, now it's time to prepare. And again, this is one of the benefits of coaching or working with a coach or self-coaching yourself, is because now we can start to say, okay, what can I do to prepare? And really, this is why it's important to work with a good coach who's capable of working on the inner game. Because, of course, we can be aware of the different behaviors when we're reviewing the tapes that would improve, but what are the inner game shifts that I need to make so that I can then change those behaviors in the real world? And what sorts of practice exercises, right? So back to the athletics metaphor, so you review the tapes, what sorts of training do I need to do to prepare myself for what's coming up so that I can better manage next time? Maybe I need to do some sort of, again, the sports metaphor, some sort of practice drills, some sorts of exercises. I need to go out and interview someone or find someone who's capable of handling that, do some research online, and so on and so forth. So reflection to learn, preparation to get ourselves ready, and then when the situation occurs, if you've done the reflection and you've done the preparation, then you'll perform most likely better than you did given the circumstances than you did the last time. And that's really all we can hope to do is when we're in the big game, don't worry about anything but managing the best that you can. And with repeated iterations of reflecting, learning, and then preparing and training and practicing, that you will progressively, over time, improve your performance that will allow you to ultimately manage your emotions or manage your behaviors in those situations without needing to worry about making changes in the actual moment itself when you're in the middle of the turbulence of the external and inner environment that you're within. So that's my advice for you in today's video. The best time to make some changes is in reflection and preparation from a cool, calm, comfortable state so that you can be in the right state to make the changes that you want to make in your life. I hope you found this video valuable. If you liked it, feel free to subscribe to my channel here so that you can get more videos like this on how to, to better manage your emotions, to become a better coach of yourself and others. My name is Jason Schneider. For those of you who don't know me, I work with coaches, leaders, and personal developers to unleash the highest and best of human potential, working with cutting-edge psychological models such as neurolinguistic programming, neurosemantics, coaching skills, and self-actualization psychology. And I trust that you will learn to better manage your emotions and better manage your performance on your way towards becoming more and more of a peak performer through taking periods of reflection and preparation.